Welcome. Get my shit together. Welcome to Ears to the Street where Factor Entertainment meet. I am your host, HG. Oh, we gotta go in tonight. As you can see, Ears to the Street merch back on deck. Got the gold print. With this turquoise. Turquoise and gold. Fuck with me. Definitely got the merch for you. All you gotta do is look in the description, and all the information is there. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys share the content. We're going in today about TikTok and social media as a whole. You know, what has social media become, and in this day and age. You know, the digital era, the information age, you know, technology, artificial intelligence, the algorithm. Ooh. You know, when we see what was the name of the, let me give myself a little headroom. What was the T9 4000? What was the Terminator with John Connor? What was that particular model was made that Arnold Schwarzenegger was? The T9000 cyborg with the laser sighting. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, we're gonna go in about this TikTok situation, Project Texas. You know, probably most of you guys aren't even abreast of this. Because most of, and this is what it's about. It's about Americans who have basically is just, looking at TikTok all day, every day. Kids looking at TikTok all day, every day. And legislation is considering it to be some type of cyber threat or some type of psychological warfare that's being launched on American families. Now, we all know that China, is behind TikTok. We all know that the influence that China has. We all know that China could be, the next superpower, maybe, possibly. Second run up to the U.S., beating the U.S. in a lot of different ways. If we want to look at it as a competition type thing, which it is. It's a competition. World supremacy. This is a thing. It's no different from your local gang, your local set, your local gang, trying to acquire more territory to flourish. So that's what we're dealing with, just on a more national scale. Dealing with governments, dealing with billion-dollar tech companies, dealing with influence over people, which drives the economy. People make the world go round. I know people say, oh, the saying is money makes the world go round, but no, people make the world go round. The exchange of, whether it be services, products, information, emotion, which is all information. This is what drives the world. How we interact with each other. What are we building? What are our interests? What are we wearing? And these big companies, everybody got to get their piece. Now, so far, social influence, as we know, TikTok is, everyone's on TikTok. I got a TikTok account. I'm not really into social media in a sense of being entertained by it. I've never been a social media guy. Now I utilize it for business. Hint, 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 hint. Rock with ears to the street. Join the block. Be a part of the block. You know. But so far as going on there for entertainment, that's probably like the third or fourth thing I use it for. You know. It never was a source of thing. It never was something. Now let me make a correction. When I first started to come on social media in regards to information or entertainment, I was already in my like early to mid 30s already. I was already, grown. This wasn't a thing. I don't come from I come from that era where I come from Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Atari, Super Nintendo. I remember back in the early, not the early, the late 80s when the Catholic school I went to, Saint Sabina, right there on 78th and Troop, 78th and Racine Troop. I remember when we got our first computer room, and the only thing you could do on those computers is do math equations, simple math equations plus subtraction. Well, at least at the grade that I was at, that was the math that they provided for us. Maybe for older students they had a more advanced curriculum. But I just remember when they first hit the school, there weren't any computer labs up in there. And then late 80s, then they start, introducing them into the school system. So, that's just the era I grew up in. So, by the time I think, to I'm not that knowledgeable on the evolution of computer technology, but however, I do remember when social media started to be a thing, and we've seen the Facebook movie with Mark Zuckerberg and how that got started, and we know about Bill Gates and different Microsoft things like that, but with social media, we remember MySpace. That's kind of was the thing right there. MySpace. Everybody was on MySpace. You could upload your music. Right now, they did some type of switch over thing, so you can't, or at least on my account, because I tried to do it. Like, it still had a title of the songs, but you can't access it. But however, MySpace, and this is going back to what, maybe 2000, and I would say maybe 2005, maybe. 2005, 2006 was a real big MySpace type era. They may have been introduced a little sooner, but MySpace was cracking, and this social media thing was taking off. I still hadn't got on board yet, though. You see, I didn't get on board. I created my first Facebook page in 2010. And so far as interacting, one thing I liked about Facebook is just it gave me the opportunity to find people that I hadn't seen in a long time. Like with me moving from the south side of Chicago into the south suburbs, all those friends that I had at Saint Sabina, the Catholic school I went to, like, I lost contact with all of them, for multiple years, because I moved in 95, I think. I moved from 95 to the south suburbs, and I didn't move back to the city until 99. So that was a 4-year gap of not seeing these people at Saint Sabina, and on top of that 4-year gap, we have another 6 years before social media is really a thing. So that's, what I'm saying. So that's like 10 to 14 year time span where I had no interaction with these peers of mine that I came up with in that particular school. So once I got on Facebook, I was like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I remember my man's here. Oh yeah, that's old girl. Oh man, boom boom. It gave me access to him, so I thought that was dope. That was the only thing I thought was dope about it. That was the only thing that mattered to me at that particular time when it came to Facebook, was linking up with people that I hadn't had contact with in multiple years. So in 2010, I created it. Never utilized it besides that, and probably linking up with some people, during the time. Anybody that I lost contact with, I would put their name into Facebook and see if I could find them. So that was the whole purpose of Facebook to me. And at this time, people are posting things. People are doing this, doing that. I wasn't posting any pictures. Not really. Maybe a few years after 2010. Maybe a few years after 2010, you may see some photos, and then that's the thing. After that, it just became like your regular social media network. Well, I might do something. I'll post a picture here and there. Nothing real crazy, you know what I'm saying? Not very frequently, it was just something to do here and there. It was nothing other. It was no everyday type thing. And then it got to a point where I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to see. Like, it got to a point where in 2000, I would say maybe 15 or 16, I started going there looking for information. This is more so now, not Facebook or Instagram. This is more so going on YouTube. Now I'm seeking information, looking at videos, looking at different things. Things that you probably would only have access to if you read certain books. So I started going online looking at certain videos, just trying to gain knowledge, anything, you know what I'm saying? Any type of information that I was interested in, boom, I just put it in the search bar and go through videos, do some Google searches and stuff like that, just find out information. That's how I ran into the conscious community back in 2000. I finally ran around to the conscious community maybe like 2017, you know what I'm saying? Close to 18. But now look at us, 2023, and with this Project Texas, social media has become such a global thing, and TikTok has really sprung up in a big way, in a major way, and basically the judicial or legislation in America is like, we're not having it. Especially with, communist China, them being, a superpower, the rise of, how quick they've been rising up, having major influence over the psychology, in a sense, of American families, So all this has to be taken into accord. All this has to be taken into account. That's the first thing we'll be discussing. And as you can see, the title, I got scrolling at the bottom, has social media made you socially inept? That's supposed to be socially inept. Let me correct that spelling. Correct that. Boom. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3 easy. Socially inept. And that's the thing, are we just sitting in our homes, nothing to do? And I know, and I know the C word, back in 2020, really, but people were already zoned out in the house on social media before that happened. That kind of just made it more of a norm, I guess, now, in a sense, more of a social norm to be at home, not being social, but on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're being social on social media with no one with you to be socialized with, unless it's the people on social media, which isn't quite the same. You'll find yourself in situations where you'll be at public events in person in real time, public events, and you'll have 6 7 people sitting around each other, and they'll all be looking at their phones. They won't even be engaging in conversation with each other. And then on top of that, you got people who are so used to just being online, looking at people, getting some type of emotional high, that they kind of forget how to socialize with people. They misread, they the communication. Sometimes they misread what you're saying. Sometimes they may be a little off with the body language. They might interpret a certain body language as something that is not even, really realistic. Not realistic, but it isn't an actual thing. You know what I'm saying? It isn't an actual thing. They'll read your body language wrong. They'll take what you say the wrong way, and this could and is, a result of being socially inept, for always being in home, on social media, not really engaging with people as much as you probably should be. We're social people. And I don't know. I don't know if being socially engaged on social media is the same as interacting with someone in person. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. Is it a difference to you guys? You let me know. Put it in the comments. This whole technology thing that we're living through, that we're experiencing. It's changing the psychology of us. It's changing it. Just look at, not only is it changing the psychology of us, it's changing the physicality of us. You see what I'm saying? We all know about the radiation and all those things. But look at so far as medical advancement, and where technology is kind of coming in, and instead of and I'm not about to turn this to a health thing, but instead of us being healthy as individuals, we'll opt out for some type of medical surgical implant, some type of metal device to help with this, to help with that. And that'll prolong whatever we need it for. What I'm saying? It'll prolong the inevitable. It's still gonna happen. It just gives you a little bit longer to fuck off and mess yourself up. But that's where we're at now. And like I just looked up where they have these basically mechanical kidneys, and it's like wow, like, and take it from someone who at one point was pre-diabetic. Instead of just changing your diet, yes, I know the food be amazing. Trust me, I be thinking about all the stuff I used to eat. You know what I'm saying? And but instead of changing your diet, cutting back on some things, you would opt for a mechanical kidney, wouldn't you? Like, man, forget it. I still want to eat. I still want to, eat all the crazy stuff, and my kidneys are failing. My vision is slipping. My back is hurting. I got skin rashes or whatever you want to call it, and instead of taking care of yourself a little bit better and changing these things, you rather say, hey doc, I got good insurance, I'm got great medical, been working all my life eating bad food, and instead of me running up the block getting some exercise, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this mechanical kidney, what I'm saying, keep me ticking as long as it works, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is where we at as a society, where the naturalness of us is just is being sucked out of us. It's being sucked out of us, and it's going into a machine. That they're transferring consciousness into computer databases and softwares and stuff. And I always come back to this because it's my foundation. And out of all this technology, out of this Project Texas that we're gonna discuss, out of TikTok, out of social Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, out of Instagram, out of Elon Musk with Twitter, out of all these social media apps, none of them are ran by any black people. Like all this $1 million and all this technology and all these developments and engineering and new innovative ways. Black people have no clue of none of this stuff. The average don't. On a general scale, the average don't. It's always going to be some sprinkles here and there that are abreast to certain things, but overall, as a collective, as an average, we have no clue about this stuff. The only thing that we master is being creative on these platforms, and I'm not knocking no one's creativity. I'm right now, I'm on here, giving you some information, giving you some insight from my perspective. So I'm not knocking anyone's ability to perform well and turn that into profit, acknowledgement, achievement through social media. There's nothing wrong with that in that aspect. But however, we have to consider where we in this global chessboard, where do we stand at? And then we got to go back to the classic dialogue or monologue in the movie Baby Boy, when Jody said, are you a buyer or a seller? Are you a buyer or a seller? So you can sell yourself. You can sell yourself, and you can sell your products. You can sell your services. And on social media and make you come up. Use your mind, make you come up. Ain't nobody mad at that. Or you could be a buyer and you just shaking your ass on TikTok and being over sexual, men and women. You know what I'm saying? Dudes be on the same thing on TikTok. You flip through a TikTok, this nigga got the LL Cool J look and all the type of crazy stuff. Which it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, what as black people, are we leading any of these innovations? And we're not. We're leading in entertainment though. I give it to niggas not a tap dance. Niggas not a tap dance. So let's get to it. I didn't rambled on enough. So with this Project Texas, I got an article I'm gonna read. I got a couple articles I'm gonna read. So for you guys who don't know what Project Texas is, it's basically a new how can you phrase it? It's a new program that TikTok is implementing so they will be able to have certain safeguards when it comes to the American families. They want to, legislation in America is demanding that TikTok be more responsible in regards to the content, the ages that are watching the content, and different protocols that they have in play, I guess, for lack of a better word. Different protocols that they're using to combat these things. They don't want 8-year-old kids on TikTok watching grown up girls shake their butt. You see what I'm saying? They can see men kissing on the television though. They can see that, but on TikTok, you know what I'm saying? It can't, they can't be having none of that. You know what I'm saying? The hypocrisy is crazy. So with Project Texas, that's basically what it's about. To sum it up, they want TikTok to be a lot more responsible in the content that's being distributed between age ranges, and then also their concern is with the cyber security aspect of it, where people have access to people's account information, your IP address. Who knows? And then that's another thing, with China being a superpower and them being communist, but America and them working together in certain aspects. How much information that half the country is tapped into TikTok. Half the country. So we're dealing with maybe over 150, 200 million U.S. citizens that's on TikTok. Their information is in TikTok. I can't remember when I signed up for my TikTok. Most people don't even look at the terms and conditions. Even if you do look at the terms and conditions, 9 times out of 10, you're still going to do it because you want to be involved in it, And most of these, and most, if not all, these apps require you to, sign your information and log in. You can't just, that's what I was trying to do yesterday when I was doing the live. I was trying to access Instagram. Without signing in because I couldn't remember my password. And it's like, nah, you can't access without logging in. So to log in, you got to give them your email. You got to do that. They ask terms and conditions. A lot of that stuff taps into your phone, taps into your location. You know what I'm saying? So by just being, just having an account with TikTok and other social medias, but we're talking about TikTok, it gives you just access to people's, somewhat personal information in a sense. And that's what they're combating with, TikTok has partnered with this major tech company called Oracle, based out of Texas. They're getting some flack from the legislation from some of the Democratic parties in Texas. They're getting some flack with them, like it's kind of just like that old-fashioned American thing. You know what I'm saying? We're Americans and we don't need your product. We can make our own product and we don't really need you in the homes of all our 150, half the country, 150 million American homes. Your platform is ruining the minds of our children. We're the only ones that can watch. We're the only ones that can display, sexually explicit plus homosexually explicit stuff on the television. We're American. We're the only ones that can do that. If anybody's gonna mess up American minds, it's gonna be America. You know what I'm saying? TikTok, China. Go back to Hong Kong with your foolery. So we're gonna get into the article. So I got some notes here. Let me hit y'all with the notes first. Okay. So TikTok is facing the most serious threat to its U.S. operation since 2020, when President Donald Trump tried to ban the app and lost in court. Some governors have banned TikTok on state computer networks, including at public universities. Congress last month voted to ban TikTok from federal government devices, and this week Senator Josh Hawley resurrected the idea of a complete nationwide ban. Whoo, they ain't playing with TikTok. I'm telling you. I don't know what it is. Like, see, that's the thing. I think it's, like I said, I think it's just a American thing, because Mark Zuckerberg, to my knowledge, I don't know. I don't even keep up with this stuff, but Mark Zuckerberg, I'm assuming, is American. I don't know who owns Instagram. Elon Musk is probably not American. Who knows, from Russia? So I don't know. Probably not. You know what I'm saying? He probably American too. I don't know. Some of these dudes be like from Europe somewhere, but they don't necessarily be American. But you know how America and Europe rock. So let me continue. It's all part of a strategy by China hawks and other TikTok critics to gradually fence in TikTok and make it difficult or impossible for people to access the app in the U.S. Right. Right. Okay. And TikTok's troubles have only deepening respectfully recently after reports about its employees surveillancing journalists at Forbes and about surveilling journalists at Forbes and about its China-based employees accessing U.S. user data. And see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Cyberly, they're tapping in. And this is not me. This is not when I say this is about them tapping in. This isn't like me being opposed to whatever China is doing. Not saying I'm for it. Not saying I'm against it. You know, I'm against anybody that's using anything to do anything that's wrong and not on the up and up. And hey, that goes both ways. That goes from China, that goes from America. You know what I'm saying? They both do stuff. I'm pretty sure, and that's not on the up and up because this is a global chessboard. This is a global chessboard. Shit. All right, a key partner of TikTok is the U.S. computing giant Oracle. That's the tech company based out of Austin, which has its headquarters in Austin, Texas, where TikTok may choose to house the data of its U.S. users. The code name Project Texas became public last year. Oracle did not immediately respond to a request from comments Thursday. All right. We have shifted our approach. Rich Anderson, the general counsel of BitDance, the Chinese owner of TikTok, told the Times. Yeah, see, they're trying to, they just trying to set up shop in America. That's all it is. We got half your country on our app. That's major money, major advertisement, major currency, and we don't want to lose that. So now they're coming up with this Project Texas to basically, pacify legislation in the United States to say like, look, we can safeguard these things that you have an issue with. Let us keep making money up in here. You know what I'm saying? Let's not shut down the trap. You know what I'm saying? Don't shut down the trap. China's strategy is reduce with money and reinforce with retaliation and intimidation, said Keith Krach, a former under Secretary of State in the Trump administration, former CEO of tech company DocuSign. I use DocuSign. Among the details disclosed by TikTok is that it will create a board of directors to oversee a new subsidiary focused on the security of the U.S. data, with TikTok nominating the directors and U.S. government officials reviewing the names according to the Lawfare blog post. So, this is a major thing, y'all. Like, we're dealing with major tech companies, and then we're dealing with social media, which sways your perception. This sways your perception. This is classic advertisement at its best. Classic advertisement at its best. And now it's not just the TV. You got it on your laptop. You got it in your hand. You got it on your phone. And now, to get back to the question that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you don't even know how to talk to people. You don't know how to talk to people. You see what I'm saying? Just think. If you're on a phone or on a laptop constantly listening to information that only appeases you, it's like if you were to hear something that went against this 99% of hearing things that make you feel good. If you were to hear anything that didn't make you feel good, you want to turn the channel, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like a fat person, watching a workout video or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see that shit. Where's the Burger King channel at? You know what I'm saying? But the exercise person is actually telling you, the right thing that you may need. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to hear it. And then you may go to a party, you've been on your phone for 5-6 hours. You don't understand how the blue light is affecting your eyes. You wonder why you can't fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta give my the homie Dr. Inky his props on the blue light, on the blue light on the blue light information. That's his field, but he showed a picture of how the blue light, like he showed a picture of an actual eyeball, and it just showed how the whole eye turned, like on the inside, like kind of where your retinas are and stuff like that, where it was just all blue from all that blue light from the computers that we're constantly looking at, from the artificial lights we're looking at, from looking at the TV so much. This shit is driving you blind. Like literally, that's why you need glasses. Besides, besides you know what I'm saying, probably needing a kidney, and they got mechanical kidneys for you guys now. Like you just become a cyborg. You know what I'm saying? Just become a cyborg. You know what I'm saying? You could actually do the robot now. You know what I'm saying? And be a robot. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I got another article with the Project Texas. So basically, what this is, is not really that complex. How we monitoring, our children. How are we monitoring ourselves? I've gotten to the point, and even though I only use social media for the most part as a tool to promote, my media page, it's kind of like a double-edged sword with me, because I don't have to be on here, but, I've chosen to do a media company, and by doing that, I have to put a certain amount of hours into searching out stories like this particular story. I know the average person probably don't even know about Project Texas. So I have to be on here in regards to that. But I kind of checked myself like, let me put this damn phone down. You know what I'm saying? And like actually right now I've been thinking of a schedule that I could use to where it's like, okay, this is my time to look at stories. This is my time to do my posting, the stories I want to post, and then these are going to be my go live times. Unfortunately, I could be more organized. So I don't always hit those marks all the time. And then sometimes I be in my phone looking, need to go to sleep, but then sucked in so much blue light that now I'm wired. You know what I'm saying? You just wired up. You know what I'm saying? You can't even fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? You up 3, 4 in the morning just looking at your phone. You know what I'm saying? But I have made some attempts to, pick and choose times. Get off this computer. Get out that phone. Get off that television and socialize with some people in person. The C thing is over with now, guys. It's not over with wholeheartedly because there's always something new popping out. It's changing, it's mutating, and blah blah blah. But for the most part, I don't know. I don't really hear nobody, at least in my circle or the people I talk to. I haven't really been seeing no cases, none. But I don't keep up like that, so maybe I'm wrong. But I think it's safe to say that it's okay to probably, go to dinner with some friends, leave the phone in the car, or put it in your pocket, put it on silent, learn how to communicate with people again, learn how to have a conversation and respect each other's viewpoints, without it being any friction. Don't get nervous, don't be socially inept, getting nervous during conversations, talking to people, feeling awkward. These are skills that, these are just like fundamental things. These are things that, hopefully, some of us should have learned in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? These basic social, fundamentals that we should know these things. What's going on with is social media. And I asked this question to the homie Off Grid yesterday when we did our live. I asked him, I was like, but I regarded it toward, or addressed it toward, young black males. And I asked him, I said, are young black males more emotional than in your era? He's late 40s, I think late 40s, peaking on 50, I think. And he agreed to say yes, exactly. They're a lot more emotional than the youth, than my peers were and us coming up in that time. And it's a lot of different factors to that. I understand it, but now I'm thinking like, is everybody overly emotional? And I'm not talking about like, everyone has emotions. I'm talking about to a point where it's like you're socially inept. Like you'll get so wrapped up in the conversation to where it'll rub you wrong, and like it'll be like some insignificant stuff. You know what I'm saying? It'll rub you wrong so badly that like you get nervous, you get frustrated, you get irritated. Some of you probably a crumble. Just based off of like a normal conversation, whether you're agreeing or disagreeing or have different perspectives on things. To me, that's a form of being socially inept. And we got to ask ourselves, is this because social media? Is it because of the C word that, we went 2 years in the house not doing anything? But being on social media, watching the what's the things, watching the battles, what's the little battle things? I can't even remember the name of it. When they did the battles, the rap battles and all that stuff, sitting in the house watching these things. And, some of us, we're still in that mode. We're still in the C word mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't watched one of those battles since then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might see one here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like, the one with the one that was real popular, like, was the one with Cameron and Jadakiss. Like, I didn't even watch that. I watched the highlights on social media. Like, I caught a few highlights, but you got people in there. And I love the DJ Nice dude. You know what I'm saying? He dope. You know what I'm saying? I think he still does his stuff like 2 a.m. Like when the C thing was popping off, that was the thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be in there at this time, you know what I'm saying? I was with my ex. We grabbed a little drink, you know what I'm saying? And throwing DJ Nice, we up in there. Can't do nothing. In a state that ain't much to do. But then it's really, you know what I'm saying, can't do nothing. So you pop that on, throw it on, have a little drink, you know what I'm saying? 2, 3 in the morning, enjoying yourself the best way you can. But that was back in 2020, 2021, 2022. Now we're in 2023. And y'all still carrying it that way. Y'all still carrying it that way. You see what I'm saying? Your children is locked in a room on their phones. You know what I'm saying? Or, yeah, on their phones for the most part. And then, you're in the living room on your phone. You don't know what they're watching, and that's the whole Project Texas thing, to kind of monitor the parameters, you know what I'm saying, or have some parameters in place, you know what I'm saying, to make sure, children aren't watching, certain things they don't need to be watching, because we already see, all the sexual exploitation on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook. It's the same thing on Facebook. It's the same thing on Facebook. Someone showed me something so horrible on Facebook like a month ago. I can't even repeat it, and then I didn't even look at it. Like, I glanced at it and I was like, man, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? It just gets to a point where it's kind of sickening. It's kind of sickening. And that's one thing I can say about myself. I'm about to pat myself on the back big time, because the content that I like to put out, that I think is important to put out, is like, I'm one of the superheroes for social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying, I come in like, you gonna hear some, you gonna hear some that's gonna be, at least in the direction of positivity, in the direction of positive information, enlightenment in a sense. Just coming from my perspective, a Southside kid, a little boy from the south side of Chicago, man. Grew up playing in vacant lots with glass. I got gashes in my leg from playing in vacant lots filled with glass. I almost cut my finger off right here. You can see where it's cut right there. I almost cut my finger off, running vacant lot with a bottle, fell, you know what I'm saying? Like no grass in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? So, but I always been a stand up dude. I always did my best to be positive and always looked out for people, always shared with people, always bent over backwards for people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just recently getting to a point with myself where, you know what I'm saying, I gotta like look out for myself. Like I can't cater to everybody and everything. You know what I'm saying? So, with this whole social media thing, it's like I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. It's a little weird for me. It's a little weird for me. Um, it's weird, and that's why I'm really just trying to use it as a thing to advance my company is to the street media. I recently, started an organization because I've always wanted to help people, and I'm just trying to figure out a way where I could be effective with helping as many people as I can. But I'm getting to I'm starting to think that maybe I just need to do local, just do local, and that way I could interface with people directly, you know, and not use social media as a thing, being more direct, more on the streets, eye to eye, really get a feel for people. I can judge people's characters a lot better in person than I can on here. I can judge people's character a lot better than I can on here. So, I'm not trying to be socially inept and get caught up in the craziness. You see what I'm saying? And get caught up in the craziness. I'm trying to keep myself thorough. I'm trying to keep myself thorough out here. You know what I'm saying? In these social media streets, and yeah, man. I think that's about it for tonight, man. I feel satisfied. I did have another article though. I'll run through the article right quick for you guys. I don't want to make it too short. What time is it? You know what? I am gonna make it short because I'm gonna take my own advice and enjoy the rest of my night off of social media. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you share the content, and please don't be afraid to support Ears to the Street Media. I'm currently I want to take Ears to the Street, and me and Off Grid talked about this yesterday. I want to take Ears to the Street, like, and that's what's crazy that I met Off Grid, because the same thing he says about us not really having a black media. That's the reason why I did Ears to the Street. You know what I'm saying? Like, to really have a real grasp upon things that's going on in the world. But it takes manpower. I would love to have a freelance journalist working with Ears to the Street in every state. And we form our own database. I'm actually talking with a gentleman that can pull that off for me, where we can have a little. I don't want to tell too much. But I just linked up with somebody, and I have to thank the young lady in my organization for making this happen. For making it happen, introducing us. I got to talk to the young brother. Very seems to be very knowledgeable with tech, and we got a meeting tomorrow, and I'm excited to see what he has going on beyond what he's already showed me. And I think with my creative mind, I can give him some great ideas, and he can also teach me some technical things and help me take Ears to the Street to a whole nother level. And not only Ears to the Street, my organization, One Nation Elites. So, You know, make sure you guys follow me on all platforms at Ears to the Street, the way it's spelled right here. Make sure I hit the like button. Make sure I hit the subscribe button. And we out.